Entertainment Tonight presents
You have no idea, my dear.
E.T. Vault Unlocked, Ryan Reynolds.
A Renaissance man, I like to think.
We open the archive revealing 30 years of never-before-seen interviews.
I had 3 older brothers. I can take a punch.
From his start on TV
Who is gonna bring that fun?
to the sets of his comedy classics
I just took out a 90-year-old woman. Thank God she was drunk. She didn't feel a thing.
and action-packed blockbusters.
I certainly never pictured myself as an action hero at all.
Plus,
Some guy's got to lock this down now.
Right?
his life with Blake Lively and their 4 kids.
I'm Mr. Lively 24/7, and I'm happy about it.
E.T. Vault Unlocked, Ryan Reynolds
Oh, hello.
starts now.
Pure chaos.
From the box office to the football pitch, Ryan Reynolds' big game plan? Just win, baby. Welcome to Entertainment Tonight.
Look, let's be honest. Ryan has many titles. Proud father, dedicated husband, and yes, Hollywood's multi-million-dollar man.
I'm enjoying it. I mean, I've worked really, really hard to get here, and I plan to continue to work really, really hard.
I love my job. I'm very lucky to get to do what I do.
I always thought that if I got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, that it would be in Burbank. It's incredible that it's here.
From deadpan comedian to action star,
Don't worry, I'm totally on top of this.
Ryan transforms just about every opportunity into triumph.
A Renaissance man, I like to think.
It means a lot to me to be able to do different types of genres, you know, to not be stuck in one kind of area.
I just thought, I'm going to go do this thing, and I'm going to give it a year. And if it works, great.
Well, it worked. Ryan's movies have earned nearly $3 billion at the box office in the U.S. The 47-year-old has made a staggering 62 films with Hollywood's biggest names.
He said to me,
Margaret, will you marry me? And she said, yep, in the end.
Sandra Bullock, Hugh Jackman,
I love Ryan.
and Taylor Swift.
would you ship it if Taylor makes a cameo at all?
Of course.
Yeah?
Are you kidding me? I would do anything for that woman. She's a genius.
Yeah, that's the big rumor. Taylor dazzling as an anti-hero in Deadpool and Wolverine out July 26th. Director Sean Levy was spotted in Taylor's suite at a Chiefs game last October. Is Taylor Swift Dazzler?
I can't even believe that you would dare ask me a question that you know I can't answer.
So Taylor Swift is Dazzler.
Are you ready for it?
That is hardly confirmed nor denied in this interview. All that's known is I went to a football game. Those hours were well documented, and what can I say? I think intrigue is fun.
Your little cinematic universe is about to change forever.
Okay, and as if a superhero franchise wasn't enough, Ryan's got an impressive side hustle, entrepreneur. His crown jewel is the Wrexham Football Club.
There's so much room to grow here.
But when it comes to other investments, the actor follows this lucrative strategy. Buy brands, star in the marketing, and sell.
After falling in love with aviation gin, I didn't just buy another bottle. I bought the whole company.
I just found this thing that I really believed in, and the last time I'd had a feeling like that was Deadpool.
Ryan, who's estimated to be worth upwards of $350 million, has an interest in at least 8 different ventures. Past investments include Aviation Gin. It's believed he sold it off for more than $120 million, and Mint Mobile.
I kind of want to say call your representative.
There are reports Ryan sold his stake in the phone carrier for $300 million.
I will definitely say I go all in with everything I do.
When it comes to Ryan's early years, let's just say he didn't always get treated like an A-lister.
Where I'm from is Vancouver. I had 3 older brothers, so yeah, I can take a punch. I had that sort of hard-to-achieve skinny yet fat look. I had the whole teeth thing. I had the funny teeth, and the kids would call me Chipmunk and all that. I was this little guy, and I was terrified of everything. It's the most wounding time you could ever have.
Ryan was able to find an escape in acting, and in 1991, the 14-year-old got his first break in the Nickelodeon teen soap, 15.
Did you just come over here to bug me?
I went to a cattle call for a humongous, awful soap opera for Nickelodeon, and it wasn't very good. But there was all these kids there, and I managed to somehow get the part, and I was so excited. I loved doing it. It was stoned college kids kept it on the air for a year. I was Billy, the drummer. Yeah, I was like teeth, and then these 2 little eyeballs in the back. It was just a little kid.
3 years later, E.T. was behind the scenes with a 17-year-old Ryan filming his first TV movie, My Name is Kate.
Did you ever think about how I felt?
A slew of guest spots followed. In 1999, he fell victim to a duo of murderous, Satan-worshipping teens in The X-Files.
You're not a virgin, are you, Boo?
No.
In Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Ryan played Melissa Joan Hart's love interest, complete with some oh-so-90s hair.
I think what we need here is a little less talk and a little more action.
But Ryan took a break to give college a shot, something that was important to his dad.
I tried. I went for, I'm not even making up 45 minutes.
I dropped out because I you know, and I don't regret it, but I dropped out because I didn't feel like it was, you know, my thing.
I moved to Los Angeles at 18 years old. I didn't tell anyone.
My first day in LA, my car was stolen. I mean, it was a great welcome to the town. I thought it was, you know, it fortified my nerve for what I was in for. My expectations were to try to get in the Groundlings, which is an improv comedy group, and the sad thing is I ran out of money, so I ended up getting an agent and then getting it on a sitcom eventually.
That sitcom, ABC's Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
Who is gonna bring that fun into people's living rooms?
E.T. was on set many times during its 4-season run. While the forecast was stormy in this episode, Ryan's outlook remained bright.
There's incredible wind, incredible amounts of water, there's pyrotechnics, things sort of spark. This is like the apocalypse now of sitcom.
And when Ryan made his jump to the big screen, of course, E.T. was there, along with over 200 roller skating extras on the set of Van Wilder in 2001.
There's no way I'm wearing skates. I can barely hit a mark when I'm standing still.
Her name's Naomi. That's I moan backwards.
Van Wilder is about a young man who is earning money to stay in school because he's scared to face the real world.
When I read the script, it felt like I felt like I was reading sort of a Ferris Bueller for the 21st century.
And before the premiere, E.T. boarded a bus with Ryan and co-star Tara Reid at the party mecca, Mardi Gras.
You know, all these people sign waivers, so I could do that. Gosh, I just took out a 90-year-old woman. Thank God she was drunk. She didn't feel a thing.
Yep, Ryan's signature sarcasm was in full force, making him a perfect fit for 2005's gross-out comedy, Waiting.
I had the chefs take extra special care of it for you, and I'm truly sorry for the inconvenience.
I've been a busboy in a restaurant. There have been times where I certainly had dealt with people that, you know, were projecting enough onto me that made me want to do something terrible to their food, but alas, I never did it, no.
And here you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed everything. I know I did.
Waiting became a cult classic. So did his Christmas rom-com later that year, Just Friends, when he donned 12 pounds of prosthetics.
I swear by the moon and the stars.
I liked wandering around and, you know, navigating my way through the world as this kind of like chubby, sweet, earnest, vulnerable character, which was a lot of fun. We were just shooting on the street, so I would step outside, but one time a woman walked up to me on the street and asked me if Ryan Reynolds was inside. And I was like, you have no idea, my dear.
Ryan may have been stuck in the friend zone in that one.
Like a brother.
But a few years later, he and Sandra Bullock would leave little to the imagination in The Proposal.
Oh! What the?
Or was that awkward to shoot?
What was weird was I walked away pregnant.
You know, you try to cover up the little bits and pieces with little things that stay on for maybe 15
primarily.
minutes. Like,
why are you wet?
After a while, didn't really matter.
It
For me,
really
at
didn't
least.
matter.
I was like, this contraption that they've rigged
oh my God,
here is
his
not working.
contraption. Be proud you had something to cover.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I
Yes,
had nothing to cover.
I can't believe this is happening. They wanted me to do that scene, and I said, no, I don't think so, because he'll get carried away. You know how they do. Let's see if we can find your boobs. Oh, there they are.
Yes.
She is the nicest. Well, I mean, she's like, meets every possible, like, romantic, like, you could never, like, mythologize her enough.
The window, to the wall, to the wall.
By the early 2000s, Ryan was flexing more than his comedy chops. For 2006's Smokin' Aces, he hit the film jackpot with grit, gains, and...
I'm Canadian, so it burns when it gets in our hand, but I had to get used to it fast.
But Ryan's first action role, vampire hunter. He starred as Hannibal King in 2004's Blade Trinity opposite future Mrs. JT and movie titan Wesley Snipes.
Do I pass the audition?
Rookies. I certainly never pictured myself as an action hero at all. I still don't.
To pull off these intense fight scenes, Ryan trained in weapons, hand-to-hand combat, and advanced martial arts.
I mean, I have a Dick Van Dyke body, not a, Sylvester Stallone body or Brad Pitt body. I put on 20 pounds for the movie, and it felt like a big scientific experiment. And then just these 2 or 3 hour, painstaking, grueling, horrific, god-awful workout sessions every day. The first time I kind of really noticed that I was changing, I was starting to be late for work every morning because I was looking in the mirror. I'll cop to my vanity. I was blown away by it. I would never want to go through that workout regimen again, but I will if I have to.
And he did, 13 more times with action kings like Dwayne Johnson and Denzel Washington. During filming, Ryan gave his Oscar-winning co-star not one, but 2 shiners.
Yeah, I gave him a black eye, and I do not feel good about that.
My first black eye in my life.
Really?
Yeah. I'm in handcuffs, and I'm supposed to reach over to try to choke him. But the car is, what do you call those, ghost stunts?
And just connected. And that felt good. If you're me, you're thinking, oh, well, okay, this is, I guess I'm going home.
Right. So, how bad was it? I mean, were you able to recover from that pretty quickly?
We kept shooting. A lot of ice,
kept going,
and I have a great makeup artist, and he colored it.
Nearly a decade later, it was Ryan who took the beating in Hitman's wife's bodyguard. E.T. was on set.
A quick sidebar. I sent you a CV last year. I never heard back.
Yeah, it's a pretty physical movie. Every single scene, I'm getting punished, smacked, shot, thrown up on, everything. I was run over by 2 cars in this movie and then stuffed into a hot trunk.
But have you really done action if you haven't worked with Michael Bay? In 2019, Ryan teamed up with Mr. Big Budget himself for Netflix's 4th most expensive movie ever made, 6 Underground.
How would you describe a Michael Bay film?
Get ready for the Bayhem, you're like...
Yeah, that's what it is. It's Bayhem, right?
Yeah, pure chaos, on set.
Very much into that ethos of Bay. It's more.
Anytime you're doing a car chase in Florence at those speeds, where these tiny streets that you have an inch on either side and you're going 100 miles an hour, your heart's in your throat.
Earlier in my career, I would get hurt a lot. I'd break bones, I'd be in, hospitals in the middle of shoots, all kinds of stuff. But I'm pretty good about knowing my limits now.
But Ryan put it all on the line with his biggest action role yet.
Oh, hello.
He's in fact called the Merc with the Mouth.
We know Deadpool as the raunchiest anti-hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
He's a guy that, first of all, knows he's in a comic book. He's got an incredibly acerbic and corrosive wit, and he's a Canadian. He breaks the 4th wall, he addresses the audience directly, it's very meta.
You know I can hear you.
Wasn't talking to you. I was talking to them.
Deadpool and I definitely share a beating heart.
But Ryan's debut as Deadpool stretches all the way back to X-Men Origins Wolverine.
He had such a rabid fan base, this character, and it's somebody I wanted to play my whole adult life, so it's a bit of a dream come true.
Do you ever shut up, pal? No, not when I'm awake.
The 2009 version was a huge deviation from the comics and ultimately a disappointment for fans, including Ryan. When he pushed back, he claimed to GQ that the studio threatened to replace him, even after he spent years vying for the role.
I'll be the first one who didn't quite get Deadpool get it right in that movie, specifically because they sewed the Merc with the mouth shut, which sort of, ends the whole deal right there.
I'm hearing the next spin-off could well be about the origins of Deadpool.
I would love to do it if they're willing to go with an origin story that's faithful to the source material. I'd be whole hog in.
Yep, despite the blowback, Deadpool earned his own movie, and this time, Ryan was obsessed with getting it right, which required a total reboot and an R rating. The journey from script to screen took over a decade.
One thing I was really protective about the character was we had to put the authentic Deadpool on the screen. In order to do that, we had to have no real restrictions.
We'd originally written and developed a rated R script, at one point branched off to do a PG-13 version, and it just kind of killed all of our souls.
Well, there's no holds barred. We're allowed to do whatever we want, say whatever we want, show whatever we want. Luckily, the studio let us do that, and it's paying off. I mean, audiences are freaking out over the movie, and it's a great thing.
In 2016, Deadpool debuted with a record-setting $132 million opening weekend, eventually becoming the highest-grossing R-rated movie at the time.
That took our last drop of blood to get that thing going. My wife has been an enormous help. She sat with me through so many sleepless nights. You know, there was a minute where I thought maybe I shouldn't do the movie, just because it had been this thing that had such a build-up, and she was the one that said, you know, you got to do it. You absolutely have to do it. This is your dream role, the role you're meant to play, so you got to go out there and do it. It's her favorite movie I've ever done.
How crazy was the makeup process?
The makeup was tough. Some days were 8 hours, 9 hours in the chair. And my daughter would cry when she'd see me in the scar makeup. She'd hear my voice, but she'd see this guy that looks like a deep fried and that sounds like her father, and that's tough for a kid.
Deadpool's near $800 million haul made it possible to secure some serious cameos for the sequel from Matt Damon and a mostly invisible Brad Pitt, who only made one request.
I was told all he wants is a cup of coffee, which is really his way of saying, like, I'm doing it for nothing.
Maybe the wind can't blow what it can't see.
What's more irresponsible than taking, you know, one of the biggest movie stars in the world and giving him a role that is utterly wordless and invisible?
How many more of these would you want to make?
I'd love to have the opportunity to tell 3 or 4 more Deadpool stories. That'd be really nice. So I consider myself lucky to have been able to do one.
That hug. What was that moment like?
I mean, I'm so grateful we got to see video of that moment, because neither of us remember it. It was just a complete blackout. I don't think I've ever felt anything quite like that. Once we kind of came back into our bodies after the whistle blew, it was wild.
Ryan and Rob McElhenney's journey as co-owners of Wrexham FC has been the stuff dreams are made of. Although it didn't start that way after their reported $2.5 million investment in 2020.
I remember showing up, seeing Blake and saying, I might have bought half of a 5th-tier National Football League in Wales.
What was her reaction?
Not good, Rob.
No,
not great.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we're still working through that one.
How did you explain this to your wife?
I'm not that dumb, Kevin. I promise you I would consult my wife before putting pants on. She's actually more obsessed with Wrexham than I am.
What is tougher, this soccer team or corralling 4 kids? Which one is going to be tougher?
I don't know. I mean, a soccer team will flush a toilet from time to time.
Wrexham has already been promoted twice, putting them in the 3rd tier of English soccer. Plenty of Ryan's pals have become fans like Jason Sudeikis, Will Ferrell, and David Beckham, but his bestie might not be getting any more invites.
We actually came to our first game of the season this year, and we just plain old got our asses spanked.
Not exactly a good luck charm, that Hugh Jackman.
No.
Mate, you don't want to peak too early.
No.
Is the ultimate goal the Premier League? And is that where you hope to be one day, that you hope to get there?
Of course. Yes. Yeah.
Really? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
In the beginning, everybody laughed at us, but I don't hear a lot of people laughing now.
So when I went to do my first ad for Betty Buzz, so I went in his closet and like put on his favorite coat. This is like a Rick Owens jacket, and I'm actually wearing his clothing in it.
The couple that slays together stays together, right? Well, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively continue to be relationship goals, but it's the origin of their love story that may have folks green with envy.
So you guys had such great chemistry in the movie. Did you know each other going into the movie? No. Not at all, really?
We'd never met. We met at a stage show in New York right before we both did the film.
What the hell is with that mask?
Came with the outfit. Cool, huh?
You know, it's impossible not to get along with him, you know, and he's so witty and funny, you know, and our characters are a bit of, you know, they have a romantic past, but they're also rivals.
The way you guys are in real life now?
A little bit. We have a bit of that brother sister thing.
Absolutely not.
We get a little, we get a little bit of that brother sister thing going. But it's great. You know, I loved working with Blake too. It was just like she'd walk on a set and it was such a nice energy to have that. All these angry men on set all day, you know, and then she would come in and just leave all these guys like batting their eyelashes and fainting. Some guy's got to lock this down now.
Right? Look at her, we've embarrassed her. She's
completely. I know, I just want to watch it happen.
A red suntan
Stop
over there.
it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. What's up, Reddy? Yeah. There you go.
He's like embarrassing me with compliments now.
Talk about sparks. You can kind of tell at the time of that E.T. sit-down for Green Lantern in the spring of 2011, Blake and Ryan were both newly single. She had just ended her 3-year romance with Gossip Girl co-star Penn Badgley, and Ryan, 6 months prior, he and ex-wife Scarlett Johansson announced their split. But rumor has it, it wasn't until that fall that Blake and Ryan reconnected on a blind double date with other people.
And that was the most awkward date for their respective parties, because we were just like fireworks coming across the... We kind of kept in touch, but sort of casually. Next thing you know, she was going to Boston, I was going to Boston, so I was like, well, I'll ride with you. A week later, I was like, we should buy a house together. I know, and we did.
Yeah, they didn't waste any time. Just a year later, the A-listers exchanged vows in secret.
I'm Mr. Lively 24/7, and I'm happy about it.
But they didn't make their relationship red carpet official until the Met Gala nearly 2 years later. E.T. was there.
You know, every time I see you and Blake together, I think of that interview that I did with you before you guys were, dating. Remember that?
I know, and now I'm on the inside.
I think I saw it. I saw the little,
Saw the spark?
I saw the little spark happening.
There might have been a little spark, yeah. She's down there, over there, yeah. Oh, she's just making her shy now.
We're talking about you.
Their relationship rules after more than a decade of wedded bliss?
When Ryan and I got together, we made a rule not to work at the same time, just so that we could always prioritize our personal life.
It's been the most romantic thing that you've ever done for me.
I've done things where I've flown halfway across the world to just see my wife for a day, because you gotta do that.
We don't take each other too seriously. Falling in love is great, but do you like each other? That's kind of the question you gotta ask yourself, going into it. So we've always liked each other. We grow together. It's like we learn from each other.
She really does just show me how to be better in almost every way, as a father, as a person, everything.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I'm married to my best friend. That's the hope we all have. It's you're lucky to partner up with someone that you want to spend every second with, and I'm very lucky to have that.
2 years after they said I do, E.T.'s cameras captured Blake's bump on the red carpet. Yep, baby number 1 was on the way, a girl. James, named after Ryan's father. Inez came in 2016, and later that year, they made their first public appearance as a family of 4 at Ryan's Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony. Adorable James stole the show.
No, there will be no showbiz in her future until she's 30. I think that's a safe time for her to enter the game. Normally we don't trot the whole family out like this, but I just thought I would regret this in 20 years if I didn't have my kids here as well.
While they keep their kids out of the spotlight, Ryan has always been candid with E.T. about dad life. His biggest lesson?
Burp cloths, because babies paint with their mouths and vomit. Strictly lullabies at this point, and dirty jokes. Nobody likes hearing some blowhard parent talk about their genius kid, no, that's definitely not gonna be me. My kids don't care either. They will backhand me awake no matter what time it is.
You gonna have more?
Definitely gonna have more sex, but we'll see what happens after that.
Ryan and Blake did have 2 more children, Betty in 2019 and another little one last year. The name and sex, still a mystery. But what we do know, they're all Swifties. The family hit up Tay's concert in Madrid in June.
Best believe I'm still bejeweled. Are you bumping to midnight?
I'm not kidding. I love it so much.
So good.
I do, Blake does, my daughters, we love it.
It seems like you've been busy with the friendship bracelets too.
Oh
huh?
yeah, my daughters love to make daddy bracelets. Yeah,
I love it. And fans are also.
They're probably tracking devices actually. Now that I think about it.
And how about this connection? That's James, and those are her handprints. She actually got a voice credit on Taylor's song Gorgeous, and she's name-checked along with her little sisters in Betty.
You heard the rumors from Inez.
The babies are muses at home too, and thanks to Ryan's girls, saying yes to this Pokemon project was a no-brainer.
They sent me this fully rendered Detective Pikachu, and they'd married it and paired it with my voice. And my daughter kind of cruises by and is just like glued to it. What makes us watch it 100 times in a row. So I was kind of in. Even if the script was just like literally made of old spit, I would have been like, yep, I'm doing it. I'm in. I need more of that validation for my child.
After Detective Pikachu in 2019, Ryan shocked Hollywood when he took a hiatus.
I took a year off, and it was just great. I just love being home with my family and taking the kids to school. For me, it's really about getting some quality time with my kids before they're teenagers who loathe me. It's like a actual cohesive, working, functioning family. The Lion King was right. The circle of life, it exists.
You jokingly said that you were waiting for Taylor Swift to name your fourth child. What are you calling your fourth child in the meantime?
Oh, all the letters are silent, you know, it just sort of sounds like a light breeze blowing through at this point.
A true sarcasm king. You gotta be quick when you're talking to Ryan Reynolds.
We leave you now with more Ryan off the rails.
Oh, good.
Enjoy and take care, y'all. We'll see you later.
Is Blake cool with this bromance?
She's great with it.
Okay.
You know.
Our names rhyme. We're good.
Yeah, anything that takes my attention off of her 24/7, she's okay with that. She's like, just focus on anything else. Can't really speak to the smart thing because, you know, I've done some pretty dumb things in my life.
I actually, honestly, I don't keep it together.
Wait, what?
As soon as the cameras stop rolling, even these ones, I just
we'll get
turn
you the
into an
Kleenex.
absolute wreck.